I think I've been stood up again. I wonder where everybody is. Hello? Hello? Let's get that side then.
Your name's not down, you're not coming in.
What do you mean I can't come in? What do you mean my name's not on the list?
You're not coming anywhere near here looking like that.
Well, what's wrong with my shirt? My shirt looks fine.
Not today, mate.
Why not?
You're cruising for a bruising.
I don't want to cause any trouble, mate.
You're not welcome here.
I'm driving a 1957 Buick. She's a Super Riviera. I've had her for about 3.5 years.
I drove in a 1954 Chevy Bel Air coupe that we've had for about 12 months now.
I drove my husband's 1930 Model A coupe, purple hot rod, which he built.
Yeah, I came in a 351 Ford Mustang.
I drove my 1969 Ford Mustang coupe.
I brought her in from the States. She was a West Coast car and had her, she was an East Coast car, had her taken across country and then contained out from Long Beach to Australia. Took about 18 months to get her on the road. Yeah, the big hold up was getting a windshield in. There was a crack in the glass, and then once that was done, we didn't get through Regency the first time, and then she went down to Andrew Mitchell's, and the boys at Auto Transformers did the body work and very expertly restored the sill panels, and then she passed through Regency good as gold, and we've been on the road for about 18 months now.
Repainted it because again some bubbles were coming up through the paint. Trevor re-pinstriped it for us because it had pinstriping and low and slow sign written on the back, and that is it so far. She's stock standard motor-wise, nice Blue Flame 6.
It's been fully restored from the ground up and left-hand drive, so a bit different. It went to get in the wrong side, so but yeah, no, lovely thing to drive.
I've got a 347 stroker in it. It's mini tubbed and a very nice hot car, and I love it. I love all the muscle cars.
Oh, my first car. Gosh, I think it was a TC Cortina, and then I very quickly upgraded to a TD Cortina because it had mags and a sunroof and a cross-flow motor, and I think that was the start of wanting a car that was just a little bit different to what everyone else had.
My first car, Holden Gemini, bright yellow. It was good. It was good. And then I only got better after that.
I learned to drive in a Mini, British Racing Green it was, and then we upgraded to a 72 Cortina.
My first car was a 2-door Tirana, and I really wanted to flash it up, and I can remember buying some bright orange carpet for it to put inside the interior and cutting a hole in the sock where the gear stick went so that I thought it was very flash with a car with carpet in it. Yeah.
I had a very hot GTR Tirana, which, yeah, much wish I still had it sort of thing. But yeah, it was a good car.
My dad's got 2 Buicks, so we're definitely a Buick family. They're definitely a car family and definitely have a long history of that.
My son is probably starting. He's got a HD Holden. He's got a Dodge Challenger that we helped him get. He's going to restore that soon when he gets some time. And he paints cars for a trade. But my daughter, nah, not yet, I don't think, nah.
Well, my father was into car racing, and we used to go to Rowley Park and Port Wakefield when we were kids. Now my little grandson is saving up to buy a 57 Chevy convertible, and he's 5 years old, so.
Bob has always been involved in some form of motorsport, starting off in Speedway, and then we got involved in circuit racing and then NASCAR racing, and now we have a Touring Car Masters team where we run 2 Camaros in that. So racing and being at tracks is always been a big part of our life.
No, I'm the only one in my family that get into all this sort of thing.
The friendships, definitely the friendships, and being united with people, like-minded people with similar interests, and being together with the girls, and the fashion and dancing and bands, shopping when we go away, we love that. Definitely the cars.
We've been in it for about 4 years and the friendships are great. The girls are fantastic, and the music. Just love Adelaide music. Met all these beautiful girls and so many more beautiful people out there. It's great.
Because of Trev building the hot rod, it got us into dancing, which I really love, and the fashion and meeting fantastic people. We go out a lot and never any trouble. Just everyone's friendly. It's just great. Fantastic atmosphere.
The thing that really strikes me is incredible is just the camaraderie, how the cars, the music, the fashions, everything blends and meshes so nicely. It's all meant to be. It's all meant to be together. Cars, music and fun can happen, and there's no violence or there's no nasty things that go on in the group. There's a lot of love that goes on, and it's great.
I've only been hanging out with the girls for about a year, but again, I like going out and I love the dancing and started getting into the clothing and everything, and they're a great bunch of people, so yeah, it's...
Yep, that's it.
Well, welcome back to My Garage Rules, and I'm sitting next to a very beautiful young lady. I thought we had so many guys on the show, why not get some chicks in this time? And I've got Nicole Stevens here. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Wow, you look lovely in your Volkswagen top
Thank
on there
you.
and everything, and your black jeans, really hip. Now, the reason we're here tonight with you is because we're going to talk about your Volkswagen Combi van.
Yep.
How cool is that thing?
She's amazing.
What? Now, she's amazing. Now, have we
Yes.
got a name for her as well?
Evelyn is her name.
How
Yep.
cool is that? So, not a Christine, it's an Evelyn. 'Cause you know
No.
what happens with people that name their cars Christine.
Well, Christine's my mum's name, so we had to...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
She doesn't
yeah.
turn into a car and stuff, go
No,
run over
no,
people or
no,
anything?
we
Oh,
had to make
thank
sure,
God
but
for that.
yeah, we keep her locked up. So she doesn't get out.
Is that
until
right?
Sunday, Yeah.
Oh, so you lock her up in the garage,
Yep,
do you?
yep.
Oh, fantastic. Now, we were just talking before, we were just saying, like, how did you get into cars and stuff? And you have to blame somebody. Who do you have to blame?
My dad, definitely. Anyone that knows me will blame my dad.
Is that
Yeah.
right? Now,
Yes,
you're
of
pointing
course.
off shot. Now, he's not here, is he?
He is actually. He followed me here because he knew that I couldn't do this on my
Oh,
own. He
that's
had to
good.
come
No.
with me. Yeah.
Well, look, getting back to this beautiful combi van of yours. Now, I must admit, I've got a soft spot for the LV dubs. I've got a 1958 Volkswagen Beetle sitting at my mum's place that one day I'll
awesome.
touch. But that's all I'm doing at the moment is touching it. I'm not working on it. But I've got to tell you, this beautiful colour as well, and it matches your sunglasses,
It does.
your glasses.
I like
noticed.
to match. You see my shoes as well.
It does,
Everything
everything
matches.
Well,
yeah, it does.
that's as far as you're going to go. But I think it's great that you've painted the car.
Yes,
You've
yeah.
done that all yourself.
Yes, I did have, he won't take any credit for it, but my dad did help me. So he basically taught me from start to finish what to do, where to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Tony Lear, who's been on the show as well, he
Yes.
was a great help when
Yeah,
I
we've had Tony,
came
yes.
into the finishing stages of it. So basically stripped it right back, and then painted the whole thing,
So
polished it
you
myself.
did the sanding, you did the bog works. Can we say
Yes.
bog work?
Oh
on
yes.
it?
Yes.
bit of bog
Did
work.
a fair bit of that. Yep.
Wow.
Luckily there was no rust, so I
Welding?
didn't have to.
The guys
no.
wouldn't like it if you did the welding. Oh.
No, we did have to. The back guards, we had to roll them. My dad helped
Yeah.
me do that
Yeah.
because the tyres that we got fitted were a bit too big.
Yeah.
So we did tiny bit, I guess, and then when it came to the exhaust, we did a little bit.
Oh, cool.
But the big part of the job was the painting itself. So
Now you said the exhaust. So what sort of motor are we running in this beast?
1.6.
Whoa! Power!
She goes.
Wow, yeah, 1600. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it goes all right, does it?
It goes
Yeah.
beautifully. You know, to start her off, she's like an old lady. You know, she's 40 years old, so you got to give her a bit of time. But once she goes, she goes. So yeah.
I just hope there's no 40-year-old ladies out there thinking that you've just called them a Volkswagen. That's all right. But no, the beautiful colour of it. I love the colour on it. The
Thank you.
interior, how's that done?
Actually, the previous owners, their wife, she actually upholstered it all herself.
The little
so
Volkswagen symbol on the dash. That looks really
so
cool.
she did all that,
Yeah.
and I could not take that away from her.
Yeah.
I just loved how it looked, and the scheme that I wanted, it fit in really well, so I thought I'd keep it with it, and they really
Fantastic.
appreciated as well that I liked that
Well,
too. So
you've obviously got some influence from your dad for building
Of
a
course,
car
a
and all
lot.
that. So what's in it for you now? What's next? Anything else?
I still would like to keep going with the Combi, and the purpose that I did buy it was I would like to travel in it, so it's not just a show car. I do use
Oh, you're
her
gonna
as
use it
well.
as well? Oh,
Yeah, I've been camping in
fantastic.
it, so
Yeah.
she's a recreational car too.
Fantastic.
But now that I'm in the VW scene, I think
Yeah.
there's a few more things out there that I.
Oh, they're hip and cool. I love
Yeah.
Volkswagens. They're great. Well, look, I really appreciate you coming and showing
Thank
us the
you.
car tonight on My Garage Rules. And hats off to a chick building a car. That's
Thank
what I
you.
reckon,
Thanks
don't you?
for having me.
I think that's fantastic. So
Yeah.
thank you very much and enjoy your car.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
My dad's been involved in drag racing since he was 15, so quite a few years, and he doesn't have any sons, so it started out really just sitting in the shed and watching Dad work, and obviously going to the track and seeing Dad race, and then Dad built a new car and needed some crew, so of course I was first to put my hand up for that, and I was 15 at the time. And it's really just developed from there. It's an absolute obsession. It is a passion that is within our whole family, and we just love it. So then Dad built a new car, and I was lucky enough, my dad being who he is, had a heap of stuff lying around in the shed, and he decided to chuck some stuff together and put it in this car so that I could race it, which was amazing. I was really excited, and then I started racing this car in about 1994. The adrenaline rush when you're going through the end is really hard to describe to anyone who hasn't done it. Anyone who hasn't done it, I recommend you do. It's amazing. Doesn't matter what car you have, give it a go. And the other thing is, it's the passion to win. Winning is another great feeling, and when you've got that strong drive to win, you just want to keep going more and more and more. So the other side of it that we love is we have a lot of fun. It's all girls on our crew, and we have such a laugh. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And so each time we finish the meeting, we might be absolutely exhausted, but we've had a great day, so that makes it worthwhile. My crew is my mum and my sister and my girlfriend Susie, and I'm also lucky enough to have my gorgeous stepdaughter. She comes out and helps when she can. So yeah, it's strictly girls only zone, lots of pink and lots of bling. Honestly, we're up to a lot of mischief, and it's pretty hilarious, really. We've got these tutorials for anyone who's interested on how to be the perfect crew member, and we cover really serious subjects like how to look cool with the tyre pressure gauge, how to pull the perfect race face, and those types of important things that you need to know. We really have a heap of laughs. So look us up on YouTube, Leanne New Black, look her up. You'll find it. That's my sister, by the way. You'll find her tutorials there. So the car's got a 308 engine in it. It's a mild combination because we're just running in super street, so we want to keep it that way. The car can run 10s, which means it could run in super sedan, but that means a whole lot of other changes and a whole lot more money. And we're a budget team, we're a family, so we keep the car fairly mellow, and we're happy to run it as it is. So it runs at the moment just low 11 seconds, but yeah, it's just a mild 308 with a turbo 400 and a 9-inch rear end, which most cars have got these days. Yeah. For me, because I've been around it my whole life, I don't really see it as being anything different or anything like that. I'm just someone who loves to race. Whether you're a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. We like to race just as much as the boys do. You can be a girly girl, you can be a not so girly girl. It doesn't matter. If you've got the passion to race, get out there and have a go. It's just competition to us. We want to win just as much as the next person. It's not about girl versus boys, it's about winning races. Highlights, definitely being lucky enough to drive my dad's super stock car. That was when I was pregnant with my youngest child. It was just before the track closed. And I'm really glad to say I'm the only one who's driven that car besides my dad, but that was just amazing and on the bucket list, never forget it. Bit of an Australian girl at heart, I would have a HK Monaro in a flash, but with the money the way it is, I certainly wouldn't look past maybe a 1968 Yenko Camaro. I think I could cope with one of those as well. Yeah, I could do with one of them. Women are getting more and more involved in racing and the stereotypes are really going out the window. So if you're keen, have a go. That's all I can say.
Well, my next guest is Kirsty Barklam. How you going, Kirsty?
Hi, Brenton. Well, thanks. How are
Well,
you?
I'm loving this chick thing tonight, and I'll tell you what, you've got a magnificent truck behind me here. Now, this
you.
truck, what can you tell us about it?
Well, I've had it for 6 years. I'm just about to take it off the road for paint and panel and some airbags and really pimp it out.
You're talking the talk there, girl.
Absolutely. And then once she's done, I've got a 55 four-door sedan at home to restore.
Oh, so tell us about this pickup first. So what sort of motor are we running in it?
400 small block, turbo 350.
Oh, nice.
Bought it from Melbourne,
Yes.
drove her home,
Uh-huh.
had a magic drive.
And I like the flat black finish, actually. She's a bit rough, isn't she?
It is a bit rough.
No, not rough. I mean, like it's a hot rod black sort of look to it, isn't it?
It is a bit rat roddy.
Ready? Oh, is that word?
It
oh,
is.
I hate that word.
I love it.
Oh, do you?
I love it. But I actually did that. My dad and I actually flat it when I first bought it because it was all multicoloured. And so we just, yes, it was all multicoloured, purple and grey and orange and not very pretty. So
Looks like you're running some Convo Pros there, the
I
old
did,
centre lines.
yes.
Nice looking.
I did actually use a Rod Tech to change the stud pattern and to then adapt to HQ.
Oh, magnificent.
Mags.
So is this like an everyday driver for you as well?
It is, yes,
Oh, wow.
it
So,
is.
look, you mentioned the 55 Chevy, so tell us about that. What's going on
So
there?
that's all original.
Yes.
I bought that when I was actually in Victoria.
Yep.
And I had 3 cars on base, and I got nicknamed Miss Chev.
Hang on base? What's that mean?
So I was in the military.
Oh, right.
Yep. And when I was away on course, I had
Like Rambo?
somewhat
Oh,
G.I. Jane.
So Rambette, though. Also, okay,
Somewhat.
I'll call you Rambette.
Yes, that will be fine. You can call
Not
me
carrying any
anything
guns
you
or
want.
knives now, eh?
So I had my 55 Chev and I had a 67 wagon and a 62 sedan, and I had these all stored on base. And then I got the notice I was moving over to Adelaide, and so I moved all my vehicles over here with me.
Fantastic.
And then I ended up buying a house, so I sold a couple to purchase the house, and then I've kept the 55. And then because there's a long build due on that, I just wanted a bit of a knock around, and that's where the truck came in.
Sounds great. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a pretty young lady behind you being photographed by somebody. Now, what's
Yes.
going on here? She looks very pin-up-ish.
Yes, that should be Miss
Is that a
Stephanie.
word, a pin-up-ish?
I think let's just make it.
Okay, it is French. Pin-up-ish is for pin-up. Okay,
Yes.
we'll just use that. Sorry.
Let's. So yes.
So what? Yeah, because you look stunning tonight, and she
you,
looks
Brenton.
stunning. So what's going on here?
So we are part of a group called Pin-Up Connection.
Yes.
And I'm part founder of that. My other partner, Millie, she
yes.
is from New South Wales, and we just decided we were hanging out and asked for photos all the time. So we joined a group, our own group, and then we've had other girls come in and join us.
Yep.
And we're about supporting other girls that are interested in this genre and dressing and just the whole rockabilly.
Because pin-up
scene.
came from, with the
50s.
in the 50s and all that, and they used to tear out the magazine pictures or the
Correct.
centerfolds of those naughty
Yep.
magazines,
Correct.
and then pin them up
on the wall.
and that's where you get pin-up
Yes,
from. Wow.
Exactly, yes. So we're trying to do a modern take on that.
Yep.
And so we've had some girls come along, and the lovely Miss Steph that we have here has just taken out the Miss Custom Culture pin-up competition.
That's fantastic.
Yes, with a lovely photographer that we know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we are now a wild card into the Autumn Fest
Oh, well
next
done.
year
That
over in
deserves
Victoria.
a little bit of a golf clap, so well
It is
done.
not
So
bad.
you got your car,
Yes.
You got your 55 sitting at home.
Yes.
Sorry, you got your truck, you got your 55 sitting
Yeah.
at home, and you got your pin-up connection business. Well, fantastic.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
great. Look, I think it's great that you're into all this stuff, and I think it's great for all the chicks that are into this stuff tonight as well. It's been fantastic. So, look, I really appreciate you coming on the show tonight on My Garage Rules, and look, thank you, and we'll be back right after this.
Thanks, Brenton.
Walking through the marketplace in New Orleans, I saw the man of my dreams.
My parents love cars. I've been into cars as far as I can remember. Mum and Dad have got, at the moment, 94 Mustangs, and they love their Mustangs. And I don't like them because they're Fords, so I love Chevys. And when I met my hubby, he's got a Chevy, so just eventuated from there.
Place. I didn't even know his name and didn't care. Was glad I took a walk and saw him there.
My son found it on the internet. My husband's always wanted a convertible. I always loved the convertibles, and having the coupe for so many years, he thought it would be nice to progress. So my son was on the internet looking one night and found this particular one. Raced up to have a look, because of course he's screaming at me to come and have a look. Found out it was for auction in 3 days' time. Put my name in, did a bid over the phone, and that was it. So he found it, I bought it or purchased it, and hubby's paying for it. So we call it our family affair. When we bought the car, it had been restored, but it wasn't up to scratch. So we basically turned around and redid a lot of the mouldings and seat belts and changed the radio, just decked it up a bit more to make it the full rally sport. The RS is an option pack, which makes it have the chrome, it has all the decals, it has the optional pack. It's basically a prestige. One year we were cruising around Clipsal with friends in the back, and of course the breathalyzers were in full force, so they decided to pull us over. Well, the policeman came over to my side of the car, because I was the passenger, and asked me to blow in the bag. And I said, "Are you sure?" And he's going, "Yes, definitely." And I said, "You sure? You really want me to blow in that?" Because everybody's giggling with laughing, because we're all holding beers. And it wasn't until about 3 minutes after me blowing into the machine that he realised I didn't actually have the steering wheel. So he was awfully embarrassed and went around and breathalyzed pole. When my husband turned 30, which is basically when we met, a friend of his, Graham Osley, decided to do a sketch for pole, and of course he's absolutely thrilled with it, because that's of his 67 coupe RS, and it's just a beautiful picture, so we're really proud of it. Hang it in our shed with pride.
Of a big romance, I went flying out in space when I saw his handsome face.
We love memorabilia, we love our cars, I love driving them. It's the best car, the best feeling, and the sound's just awesome. Just love it.
Place,
Well, hi guys, that's it. Well, look, next week we've got Alan Moffat, and he was a special guest at the South Australian Corvette Club's dinner, and that's going to be an awesome interview as well, one of my heroes. And also we're going to speak to Remo. Now, he's the man who's bringing, well, he has brought back drag racing to South Australia, so we're going to have a chat to him and have a look at his drag car as well. So, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you all next week.